Good morning. I don't have a copy of the book today because I've lent it to someone. It's that sort of book that you read and you just feel someone else ought to read this. You want to talk about it with someone. It's called Words Best Sung and it's by Lee Stuart Evans. It's not a very big book. It's quite a small book. It's the sort of book, I want to describe it, and I don't want this to sound like a negative thing because I actually like this. It's the sort of book where you feel like nothing's happening. It's quite slow and deliberate, and it's very, it's about the minutiae of everyday life. We've gone back in time, and it's based in Nottingham, which I really love. I love reading about places I know and I can picture and I can visit. I loved a lot of it before I even opened the book. But it's just a beautiful, sort of fly on the wall kind of story where it feels as though nothing major's happening, but actually you get to the end and you've experienced so many things from these young people. It's a sort of coming of age book of sorts. But it's the main character is a man, which I found interesting. A lot of coming of age things are about women changing or girls changing into women. And this is really about a man who, is going through those early 20 sort of, late teen, early 20 years when you just don't know really what you want, or what you want isn't achievable, or what you want isn't going to get you perhaps the money you need to buy a house, or to impress your girlfriend or whatever. And it's just a beautiful, very evocative story of just this group of friends and a couple of a snapshot, I suppose, of their lives. But I really enjoyed it. It was very resonant of the time, which obviously I was not born then. So it's very beautifully and carefully written without a lot of very obvious, this is a plot point, or this is how it was. It's just very resonant of that period and the excitement around the coming of rock music, and just really just a beautiful book. You really need to read it, and then you need to hand it on to someone else, or buy them a copy for their birthday, because it's the sort of book you want to then talk about with somebody, because the characters are quite interesting, and there's quite a lot that goes on that is sort of under the radar. It's not necessarily written very it's not explicit. It's not written explicitly what's happened, and so you're left with your own interpretation, which I guess is somewhat reflective of your own upbringing or your own life experience that will make you think what may have happened. It's very interesting and much more challenging than you realise. You get to the end and realise you've been challenged, but while you're reading it, it doesn't feel like that. It's a really lovely, very beautiful book.